happened to our business happened to us in 3 different locations. And this was not the first time it was happening. So for us, and perhaps for me, as a business owner, I'm dealing with COVID and trying to keep my 300 strong workforce engaged and trying to navigate a new mental and mindset for them all. This was like a blow that I just thought, you know, Nigeria builds the best mental muscles in the whole world, but sometimes it just gets a little bit too much. And I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Governor. I'm thanking you because you showed empathy, you showed understanding, you showed that you saw and you felt and you understood the importance of employment as part of our economic, social, and environmental development. It's employment that empowers us all to be free and to make choices that allows us to live the kind of lives that we want to live. It's employment that reduces corruption. It's employment that reduces terrorism and all these other activities that are unsavory that our youth are engaged in. Thank you to the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund for keeping your word, for truly living up to the trust that is in your name. What you further did was to show us that in a society where trust is so fragile, there's still so much opportunity to build trust. And this we don't take lightly, because all relationships really are about trust, and it's about building trust. And when we can build this trust, there's so much that we can all achieve together when we collaborate and we cooperate with each other. Thank you also, because you showed that we were not alone, and that when push, Lagos State is willing to support its tax-paying citizens, and it's willing to put its money where its mouth is. When I was told we were going to receive money, I thought, okay. But when they showed me a bank alert that it came through, it was like, wow. For me, it was more than the money. As I said, it was about the trust. It was about building the trust. And I want to really appreciate everybody that worked tirelessly at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund with the 1,000,001 questions that we were asked. It was worth it. To see the impact on the larger society and sending a clear message. The Lagos State is indeed different. It always has been and it always will be. I want to say, on behalf of everybody at Rough and Tumble, everybody at Gatimo Limited, I want to say thank you very much to the Governor of Lagos, to you, Mr. Governor, and to your team at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. And thank you for the opportunity to be able to share with you. We got 2 of our stores back open in no time at all. We kept all 30 people that were involved in all the 3 stores. And you know, it just gave us that supersonic tonic that we sort of like needed to get through the Christmas season. Taking into account people's mental state of being, their physical and just the entire well-being of the people, knowing that you are really not alone and you don't stand alone, and that you have a state governor that has empathy and is willing to listen. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Charles, thank you very much. And sorry, I just needed to get permission to unmute myself. Thank you very much, Mr. Gunlesi. We will now take a second live testimonial from the CEO of MH's Electronics, Mr. Emeka Eze. Mr. Emeka Eze, if you're here, can you kindly unmute yourself? Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, our amiable governor. I am Emeka Eze, the CEO MH's Electronics. Hello.
Mr. Emeka, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon, my amiable governor. My name is Mr. Emeka Eze, the CEO of MH's Electronics. The whole devastating effect of the NSAS was very demeaning in our lives. It was really saddened because lives went down. I was almost on the journey of nowhere. And but when I got this link from a friend, the LSETF coming to our rescue, and I applied, and despite everything, the questions, the staff came to my office, and at the end, I got the money. I sincerely say it was worth it. It was worth it. We appreciate all the donors. We appreciate the Lagos State Governor. We appreciate everybody that were on their feet morning, afternoon, and night to make sure that this worked. Really appreciate my staffs. I had over 5 staffs that were already crying that they've lost out of jobs and the rest of that. But with all, I really appreciate the LSETF and the whole donors that came to our rescue. I really appreciate you. When I actually thought it wasn't going to happen, thought it was just like the normal, the usual, everyday promises and the rest of that. But I saw the alert on my phone, and in fact, it awakened a whole lot of joy in me. And with that, I was able to bring back my electronics store back to life. I really appreciate, and I sincerely appreciate. I say, may God bless you, Mr. Governor, and bless every other person that has made this work out. May God bless Lagos State, and may God keep blessing the LSETF, despite the rigorous task they went through, making sure that businesses in Lagos, irrespective of the NSAS issue, came back to life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eze. We will now move very quickly with the official presentation of the report to Mr. Governor. We will have this done with 3 different committees. First, the Claims Committee, which will be presented by Adeleke Adeyemi of Faith Foundation. Adeleke, can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Babajide.
Please unmute yourself, Nika.
Thank you, Mrs. Adeshola. Good morning once again.
Please unmute yourself again.
So I keep unmuting myself, but it then gets muted. So, okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Adenike.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Chairman of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Mrs. Bola Adeshola, and other key stakeholders present. Kindly permit me to stand on existing protocols as I present the highlight report of the activities of the Claims and Evaluation Subcommittee. Our key objective as a committee was to ensure the development of an efficient, transparent, and accountable process to review submitted claims by businesses who had experienced vandalization and looting during the NSAS protest. We understood the urgency of the process from the impacted entrepreneurs and knew that we needed to act quickly to ensure businesses that were qualified to receive the grants were able to receive it as soon as possible. We also understood the importance of ensuring that the stakeholders who supported the LSCTF and the state in cash and kind, and citizens at large also needed to have a good view of how the funds were utilized and allocated. The first step of our work as a committee involved the verification of the submissions, which was conducted by two LSCTF approved business development service providers, namely PML Audit and FAG Consulting. The two firms conducted physical visits to verify the existence of the businesses, ascertain the level of damage done, and propose recommended sums for grant allocations to eligible businesses. Following the verification process, the second step that we did, and we used that all through the time that we were on the work, was the assessment of the recommendations by the BDSPs in line with the approved claims and evaluation framework, which the committee had developed. The framework was reviewed for continued evaluation and efficiency during the process, and it allowed us to make our assessments in line with the business type, so looking across micro, small, and medium enterprise categories, looking at the length of the businesses, the number of employees they had, the availability of financial records, and also the extent to the damages that had been done for their businesses. Following these assessments, the third step that the committee did was to recommend and to present to the higher level committee our recommendations for the assessments and the disbursements for each of the businesses that we reviewed. And then after which the LSCTF then now continued with ongoing disbursement to the different claims that were approved and validated. Key considerations for us, which I would also like to highlight during the process, was also the consideration for certain levels within the micro enterprise segment who may not have had business accounts at the time to which the vandalization happened and they had registered for the claims. And for us, one of the things that we ensured was that the BDSPs worked very closely with market groups, trade groups, and association at those levels to also ensure a transparency and accountability for the process. At the end of the process, we evaluated over 4,000 claims, and from those 2,000 of those claims were validated, while 2,075 were not validated claims. And from those approved, we have about 1,080 which have been paid, with ongoing payments continued, and which have ranged from 50,000 naira to 5 million naira. I would also note that as a fund that was directly targeting businesses across the state, we did not approve claims that were made by religious organizations, individual persons, or not-for-profit organizations. The list of all the disbursements that have been made to date can be found in the appendix of the report that the link has been shared and circulated. As I round up on my report, on behalf of the Claims and Evaluation Subcommittee, we thank the LSCTF for the opportunity to serve, and we strongly recommend that all our learnings and feedback from this process is incorporated into existing and upcoming funding programs to ensure that there's continued efficiency in processing, transparency, and accountability. Thank you very much, everyone. Over to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Adenike. We will now proceed with a second report from the fundraising team, taken by Tosin Fanirodada of Endeavor, Nigeria. Tosin?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Governor. Good morning, the Board of Trustees. Please permit me to stand on existing protocol. I'm glad to present this report on behalf of the fundraising committee. Our mandate was to raise 1 billion naira to close the funding gap to support the claims submitted to the fund. We grouped potential funders into 3 categories: corporates, international development agencies, and retail. The first thing we did was to partner with Flutterwave to develop an independent platform for online contributions. Flutterwave was the first company to commit to support the fund with 5 million naira. We're grateful to them. From our first engagement with potential partners, it was clear that LSETF would have to set the stage by using its own funds to help people. This way, people would believe that the initiative was indeed real and accessible. We thank the Governor of Lagos State and the Board of Trustees under the leadership of Mrs. Bola Adeshola for acting quickly and providing the sum of 500 million naira to kick off. As soon as we started disbursing and communicating this to the public, we started to see traction in funding. We are grateful to the JMD of Access Bank, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, for donating 500 million naira to the fund. We are also grateful to the MD of Polaris Bank, Mr. Innocent Ike, for his kind donation. We are equally grateful to other partners, ARM Pension Managers, Century Group, Stanbic IBTC, BDC Communications, VFD Group, and Guiding Light Assembly for their kind donations. While we were fundraising, it became clear that some organizations preferred to support the fund indirectly, thus transferring their contributions directly to the entrepreneurs. This was encouraged as it was in line with our objective. We are grateful to Bet King, UNDP, and the Green Investment Fund for supporting us indirectly. In total, we raised over 1 billion naira through direct contributions and over 93 million naira indirectly. Finally, I would like to thank our retail donors, the people who donated 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira, $10, $20 through our Flutterwave platform. You are our most important donors because you gave what you could afford. We raised over 1 million naira through our Flutterwave platform, and it truly shows that in Lagos, we are sisters and brothers keepers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tosin. We'll take the report from the final committee, the Comms Communication Committee, which will be taken by Mr. Fola Olatunji David of Bet King. Fola, could you kindly unmute yourself?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Good morning, Mr. Governor, the board and leadership of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, fellow committee members, and everyone present today. Thank you for joining us today. The mandate for the communication team was essentially speaking about the work being done. And earlier we spoke about I think it was Ms. Ugulesi that spoke about the trust elements that had been built. So our mandate on the communication subcommittee was, how do we build trust? How do we create awareness about the work being done? And how do we show that it's a genuine effort of being helpful to Lagos State businesses? So what we did was we had to reach out to our partners, our donors, the Lagos residents, and the legislative executive arms of government. We had multiple ways that we reached these people because we wanted to reach people on the platforms that they are native to. So we use social media, platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We use traditional media with radio and television, and we use digital media, so newsletters, videos, and written testimonials. So what we decided to do was send out progress reports, send out newsletters, send out testimonials. Samples of this progress reports will be made available. And the video that we watched earlier is some of the type of content that was created. Of course, consent was gotten from all the people who were present and all the people who provided their communication elements. So for the people who appeared in videos, for the people who wrote their written testimonials, we got consent for that. The process that we did was we sent out, it was a 5-step process. We essentially sent out when the claims were made, phone calls were made to applicants to verify that there was real applications. And then when we made offers and when there was acceptance of the grant sum, there was also emails, phone calls, and text messages that were used to inform the beneficiary of the approval of the amounts that had been gotten, and also an invitation for them to pick up their letter. And then when it was time for payments, we sent multiple payment notifications just to continually communicate with them to inform them that they were being paid, the amount that they were being paid in tranches, and for the people who were paid via donor organization, which donor organization was paying them. And also we sent out communications to people whose claims were not approved. And finally, we sent out reminders and account verification phone calls just to constantly let people know that we're on top of the process, that we're carrying them along. And it's important to have done this because one of the things that we received as feedback when we started this process was that people were not sure if this was a valid effort of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund or if it was just a PR move. But we wanted to assure people that it wasn't a PR move, that we were building trust. And so I think at the end of the day, we were able to communicate with the applicants, with the partners, with the Lagos State populace, and to show that the Lagos State, yet again, is ahead amongst other states in building an ecosystem of businesses and governments that can coexist and thrive together. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to observe. I'm grateful to the opportunity to be able to speak about the work that we've done today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fola. We will now take learnings and call to action from the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Ms. Tejuma Bisoye.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Governor, members of the Board of Trustees of the LSCTF. My job this afternoon is just to speak to the learnings from the whole experience with the Lagos State MSME Recovery Fund. I think primarily one of the things we learned is less than 3% of about 3% of the businesses had insurance. So we actually had a situation where most businesses did not have insurance. Less than 80% were formalized or operated with proper records to show us during the verification. Less than 85% were actually affiliated with associations or professional bodies. For the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, we recognize the need to continue to create awareness on the need for business insurance, partnering with various insurance companies to provide structures that work for these companies so that as MSMEs, they can afford to pay insurance. We believe we need to concentrate on capacity building, providing to businesses the importance of business formalization, and of course, the increased awareness for the importance of professional affiliations. One of our experiences with the marketplace where people were not, for example, in FAGBA, it was because of associations in the market who could identify people as real businesses that had stalls in the market that we were using for verification process. This really is an advantage for anybody that is, for businesses to be aware that there is an advantage for being part of an association. We also noticed that 64% of all the businesses affected were women-led. So we recognize the vulnerability of women-led businesses. And we think there must be more targeted financial support, capacity development, and awareness on how to create and protect their business from this type of issues going forward. Classification definitely helped us along the categories, and we recognize that this targeted policies should be based, targeted policies at MSMEs can be based on this categorization that exists today, where we categorize micro businesses for the people that employ only one business, one person, for nano businesses, people that employ less than 10 as micro businesses. And this will help us in categorizing how we go forward in our interventions. the board recently approved a nano loan to businesses that cannot meet some of the requirements that we've been asking from micro, small enterprises. One of our learnings also was that indeed transparency does help in making sure that the public trusts all government intervention, and of course, partnerships and collaboration with the private sector. There needs to be a lot more done in this space because again, it helps to improve accountability, it helps to improve trust for any intervention or program done by the state government. And at LSCTF, this is our way forward. One of our key structures for this year is around partnerships and collaborations with the private sector. At this time, Mr. Governor, I would like to hand over to the chairman of the board, Mrs. Bola Adeshola, to formally present the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Teju. Can we have the report shared, please, on the screen? At least the images. Mr. Governor, it is my honor and pleasure on behalf of the board, the management and staff of the LSCTF, and volunteers on the committee, the observers, and our donors, to present to you the report of the Lagos MSME Recovery Fund. It's a 74-page report, very, very detailed, rich in content, with demographics broken down to gender, even the areas in Lagos, the nature of the businesses of the people who applied, age and so on. And I believe will be very useful to the Ministry of Wealth Creation in particular, and for other social intervention programs in Lagos State. The LSCTF has enabled business people in Lagos to go from pandemic to prosperity. So upon your formal receipt, sir, of this report, it shall be made public. So, Mr. Governor, I hereby present the report to you, sir, the Lagos MSME Recovery Fund report. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you very much. And Teju, I think it's appropriate to say good afternoon now. When you said good afternoon then, it was still 7 minutes to 12. So you were 7 minutes ahead of us. So I will properly say good afternoon to everyone, especially members of the cabinet that are joining us virtually. I want to also acknowledge and thank very sincerely the chairman of LSCTF board, my sister, Mrs. Bola Adeshola, and our entire board membership, Teju, and our entire team on the management side. I also want to acknowledge and thank a lot of our CEOs that are with us on this virtual platform. Ever available, Mrs. Ogunlesi, thank you very much. Chief Eze, thank you very much. All of our partners, especially our financial partners, non-financial partners, both local and international, each and every one of you on the front page have been acknowledged. I wish they've given some of you gold stars and diamond stars, but all of you are stars. A lot of our, individual contributors using the Florida Waves platform, I want to acknowledge and thank you, Nike, Tosin, Fola, and some of the beneficiaries that I'm sure are also listening in. What a day! The last 1 hour has been actually, for me, been very inciting and very, very commendable, I must say. Sitting back here, I didn't even realize that this much work, had gone into it. And the first thing really is to thank God, that we all can sit back here and talk about events that happened, 9 months ago, to our dear state and country. and we're all still grappling to get out of it in one way or the other. It has affected different people differently. As your governor, it has also affected me, and it puts to test, my own level of resilience and my own leadership capability. So I continue to learn from the incident. I continue to appreciate and not play down, and understand and know that indeed, you also do not throw a crisis away. It must be an opportunity for you to really, really learn from it and be a better person. And I'm sure all of us, in one form or the other, will be a better person. And so it's really on this note that I want to thank all of you. Thank all of you truly, really for, sparing your time, your intellect, your contacts, for putting all of this together. It's always the very easiest one that you give me. Just come and receive the report, or just sign off a file, for the disbursement. That's really is the easiest part of the job. You guys have done the really difficult one, which is to get it very granular and get to identify the real people that are deserving of this. And you've shown it, transparently. You've shown it collaboratively. You've shown it with the way and manner that all of the partnership and collaborations have come together. I actually want to just generally talk around the learning and the lessons that Teju had also further highlight. And I'm sure the report will bring to fore, some of the things that as a government, we need to take forward, right? And it shouldn't just stop with us as Lagos State. I think it's, like you said, once it goes public, people should be able to learn from it very well. It's interesting to see that about 65% of the people, that were affected were women. When we keep talking about the fact that we need to support more of our women, we need to support, women-driven businesses. This sort of like speaks to that again. When we also say that we need to put ourselves into partnerships, into affiliations, let's organize our businesses in one form or the other. Medium, small, micro, I hear the new word now, nano, in whatever form, just come together so that you can quasi formalize yourself, around association, around various sectors that you find yourself, so that there are people that can speak for you, speak on your behalf, and you become a voice. You become, a moving, stakeholder that indeed, when it's time for people to have a seat in the room, your community will be represented. I think these are some of the lessons and the learning, and around registration, it goes to show how undocumented we are as a people, and it's a challenge, and it's also an opportunity for us to take forward. That's why we're asking, for example, the registration around the Lagos State residency card. Those are some of the minimum things that we should take away from here, and be able to tell our people that when we ask for registration or we ask for identification, it's not anything around other than when unexpected incidents or cases like this do happen, we have a fallback, and people can also know who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing. And it will really, really help. And so I want to thank, Teju, I want to thank LSETF for putting all of that together. For me, is to ask ourselves, so which way forward? How do we scale up, and how do we increase, the success that we're talking about? Because there's still a huge number of people that are deserving, of this. How do we double this support? And I'm still willing to do that. We can call this one Series 1, right? If you guys can go back and see a Series 2, let's go back and up the scale again. Honestly, that's really why we're in government. That's really where we're here to support each other, right? I like, the new name, the nano loans that you've talked about. Let's get it very granular. Let's take the poorest among the poorest of our people. Let's take them out. If we do our part as LSETF, as Lagos State, as each of our partners, we will just be saving one family. We'll be saving one life down the line. And don't worry about others are not joining us. We'll pray that they will join along the line. So let's just continue to do what we are committed and what we've seen as a model that is working for us. So for me is to challenge you guys, to all of our support teams, the banks that have supported us, the multilateral donor agents that have supported us. Let's take this to series 2. Maybe we're not going to say it's NSAS again or something, but let's be very creative about it. People want this grant, people want this support. If we have a model that is working and we can indeed granularly identify them, seriously, they need it. They need it, and we can help them. It's an opportunity to also get them formalized, in a way and manner that I hear all of these things working, So don't lose the whole thing yet. Don't make this look as if, okay, our job is done. Let's all have, a tea break, or let's have a drink and that's it. No, I'm challenging all of you to please come back again and let's make this on 2.0. Let's see this report as 1.0. Let's take it to 2.0 and let's even make it bigger and better and bolder, right? And I'm persuaded to go this way because I can see a lot of accountability, being put forward. And so once there's accountability, there's always the willingness to take it forward, and so let's do it. The only thing that we just need to look at is what is the cost of operations, Once, we can manage our costs and we know that indeed we're getting to that set of people we want to get into, we can rest assured that we will support you, not so much because other things are also not needed. Yes, we need to build more schools. We need to build more roads. We need to, build more hospitals. We need to do all of these great things, But indeed, people will say to you that there are some times when we need to be able to touch, the very, very vulnerable, weak in our society in ways and manners in which you've all shown it today. And I think we certainly just need to take them, and support them. For as long as, there are businesses that we're giving them lifeline for. So it means that they will be able to feed their family, they'll be able to, get themselves out of poverty, and they'll be able to live, a decent life. I think we need to take it forward. So Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, like Mrs. Ogunlesi said, you are earning the trust. The trust is really in short supply in this climate. So let us, let us develop these things bigger and bolder so that the kind of support that you currently have, the kind of successes you currently, have recorded, let it touch a lot more lives. Let us 6 months down the line, let's be able to say that we've been able to do 4 or 5 billion. We've been able to touch 100,000, right? 120,000. This is the kind of numbers that we need to get into. And I know that with all of you, online, we can do it. I can only but thank each and every one of you. I mean, I know you know all your names. I don't have all the names in front of me, but I honestly want to thank you all. I want to say to you that as a government, I will do everything. I will do everything. I rather support interventions like this than waste the money somewhere else, because I know that it touches life directly. People can feel it, you can touch it, and they can hold it, and they can, the testimonials are there for us to take away. And so I want to, once again, we will take the reports, we'll analyze the reports, but we'll not let it just remain on our shelf. Let us take it to another level. From the learning of it, let's see how we can build it bigger and bolder. If you want me to knock on doors for grants from other people that have not joined, we can call them, we can jointly, make phone calls to them, right? There's a lot of financial organizations, telecoms company that we can show them that if you give us a lot more money, we have the capacity, we have the partnership, we have the collaboration to do it. And this 1.0 series have shown that we are indeed accountable, and we'll come back to you to show you, what we're about. So let Lagos State take the lead again, as usual, right? To do up, a request for this, and you can rest assured that we will support you, and other things that you're doing. This is one success of our government that we cannot but continue to, put forward flagship and let people talk about them. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. You know, there's so many guys on that are participants that I don't know their name. I mean, it's over 100 people that have joined. You know, I'm going to read all the chats very shortly. But Mr. Adeshola, thank you very much for your great leadership. Thank you very, very much, you know, for showing and for leading the board. Teju, well, just the only reward for more good work is more work. So just go do more work. Charles, you know, you guys just get to do it. You know, I know that you have the energy. Let's just, you know, take it forward and be able to build, you know, a bigger, a more enduring, a more sustainable society, you know, and where Lagos can also replicate it for other states. You know, people have come around to say that we're doing very well in Lagos State Security Trust Fund. We're doing very well in this area, in that area. I'm sure people will come and copy and paste what the Employment Trust Fund is also doing. And please just keep on doing it, you know, and the beneficiaries out there that you're learning all of this to, they'll continue to pray for you and wish you all the best. So thank you again for this report. Thank you for the great work that you've done. I am here. Just tell me what you want me to do again, and you can be rest assured of my support at all times. Thank you very much. And I yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. We will definitely take you up on this. We look forward to 2.0. We will now move forward to provide a link in the chat. So please look at the chat box. We'll provide a link where you can actually download the report. It's now available to the public. And again, thank you, Mr. Governor. Please, again, the link is available in the chat box. You can download the report. And very quickly, would like to do a brief photo moment. So wherever you are, if you are able to turn on your videos now, we'll encourage you to turn on your videos so that we can do this very quickly, after which we'll take a vote of thanks.
Charles, it's only you who can see you. I hope that
apologies. I thought that it was moved, so I'll just very quickly do that now.
It's okay.
Charles, I've munched a few times on my screen, so we can go to the vote of thanks, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Governor's time is very precious.
Yes. So very quickly, we will now take the Honorable Commissioner, Wealth Creation and Employment, Honorable Yetunde Arobioke. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much. Actually, Teju, what you're asking me to do, Mr. Governor has done. He has thanked everybody participating in this virtual meeting. And so I just want to reiterate what he has said, that on behalf of the chairman of this wonderful board, the board members and the management and staff of LSCTF, we want to profoundly appreciate Mr. Governor for his passion. I do tell people, Mr. Governor is the right man to be at the Rebel of Affairs at a time like this, when passion is really needed. And he is an humanitarian and compassionate, personality personified. We profoundly appreciate you, sir, Mr. Governor, for having interest in all that LSETF stands for. and all the assistance given to support several initiatives of this fund. Mr. Governor, I know you very well. When I tell people, some people do not know you think I exaggerate, but I'm not really exaggerating. It takes God to have someone like you at the realm of affairs at a time like this, when social interjections are really needed as a policy. And you don't stop at any opportunity to let us know that life is not about you or who you are, but life is about how many people you've succeeded in impacting. I used to tell people what happened when you came to Agboike to commission, the edifice that the chairman there erected. And when we were leaving, I actually joined the bus because I wanted to use it as an escape route. And I was so surprised. You suddenly saw a woman. You said the bus should stop, and the bus stopped. And you said that woman is praying. It takes a compassionate person to do that. And you asked her to come. You said, what are you praying for? And she says she's praying for her family. She's praying for them. I said, okay, God has made us an answer to your prayer, and you handed over a whopping amount, 100,000 to this woman. Just yesterday, she was talking about Mr. Governor, because I just called, I said, what is it all about? He said it's about what he did for me that day, but what you did, you never knew you were giving assistance to someone very close to my house. And she's been like a vanguard, talking about you everywhere. All I just want to say is that God will continue to supply strength, God will continue to be with you, and God will continue to uphold you with his right hand of righteousness. Thank you very much for all these social interjections. Even at Ministry of Wealth Creation, you are a wonder to behold. All things that are done are unprecedented. We've never found them on record. And thank you for what you are doing to LSCTF. He has promised he will make it good. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. We will now call it a day until the presentation of 2.0 as promised by Mr. Governor. Thank you again for attendance, and see you all, and I wish you good health as we move along. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Have a good day. Mr. Governor, thank you very much, sir. HC Wealth Creation, thank you. Teju.
Thank you. You're welcome, man.
We've got our work cut out, yeah? Good. And thanks to everyone who's there. Nike, all the board members, Mr. Danijo, I can see you there. I saw Mr. Olonimba earlier on. Bumi Lawson, thank you very much, Mrs. Lawson, for being with us. And all the staff members. I see Mr. Adeomioni there. Thank you all so much. Oh, Nike, thank you so much, Faith Foundation, for your time. Mr. Olatunji David, good to see you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you so much to everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, all those who dialed in, and we look forward to the continued partnership. HC Wealth Creation, thank you for your unflinching support all the time, and your commitment. Most appreciated.
Thank you.
You're part of the wind under the wings of LFCC.
It is well. We're all in it together. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. And the entire committee. Tosin, thank you for coming. Back. You are part of us, even though you're with Endeavor now, but once with LSCTF, always with LSCTF. So thanks for your support. Tatiana, I can see you there as well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I think we can turn it off now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.